Hello, this is Brielle. I'm continuing my series about how to use different magical tools to help people in their spiritual journeys and to assist in their task in their everyday life. Now, if you watched the last installment about pendulums, you would know what a pendulum is for and what you could do with it. Now I'm going to show you another way to use a pendulum that's a little more complex, but could give you some more direct answers. When you have a scenario, then you can make something which I call a pendulum chart or a pendulum guide, which involves a little bit of drawing, but it's not too difficult. For instance, if I am working at a job, and perhaps I'm a boss, part of my responsibilities may be to hire and fire people. Well, my boss came to me and told me that we cannot support the amount of workers we have, and we have to let one employee go. Now, that's a situation nobody would really want to be in, and a difficult one. But for example, what if all of your employees seem like good workers? What if they all seem to have very little to that's a difficult word, to distinguish them from one person to another? And you are just stumped. You have no ideas. You've checked their records, you've checked their performance, and you don't know what to do. Well, that's what this pendulum chart is for. I came up with several answers relating to the subject, starting with the simplest answers like yes, no, and maybe to even know if I should be doing this, and further out, getting more detailed. The way to make a chart like this is first you start off with drawing a big circle. I used a plate to help guide my circle so I can make it look circular. And then you decide how many choices you want. I just divided it into different sections like a pizza. Then I drew two additional circles, one small one in the center and one here. Now, things that might relate to this situation I wrote down in a different little place within each of these circles. In the center I have simple decisions like yes, no, seldom possible, no, yes, maybe, and very highly likely. Branching out further, I wrote brainstorm, use your gut instinct, ask a friend for help, do research, gather resources, take a break, retry a failed approach. On the furthest string out here, I wrote use tradition, play or have fun, look to nature, sleep on it, alter the focus, reassess the goals, try it at a different location, and check for errors. Now, here's the fun part. We take our pendulum, and people will tell you there's different ways to hold it properly. Mostly you want to hold it in a way that when you start out, it is in a neutral position and centered and not moving. And then it moves on its own and branches outward to directions to help you make the decision. Now, if you can see the chart, we're going to hold our pendulum in the center dot in the middle. And then we let go and let it go to where it will to help us make a decision about this. And I just let go. And as I mentioned before, sometimes it will feel like the pendulum is pulling you the direction it wants to go. And sometimes it will even move your hand. Now, it's moving me over here, and as you can see, it landed on organize. So maybe I want some confirmation. I will ask my oracle, are you telling me that you would like me to organize their files to perhaps look for errors? And now it could have went toward no. It immediately went right next to it in the next column that says check for errors. So, for this particular problem with hiring and firing, it's telling me that I should go organize the files I have on each individual employee and check for errors. Perhaps someone underperformed a few times, or perhaps somebody may have been hostile to another employee, and that could inform my decision in who would be a better employee to work for the company. As you can see, it's not too difficult to make a chart like this. In a way, we're kind of making a Ouija board, in a sense, that we could use with a pendulum. I'll give you one more situation, because maybe not everyone's good at drawing or coming up with ideas for different decisions to put on a little diagram like I drew. So, I have another friend who is talking to me. Well, and they said they do not like their neighbors. They're just getting a very negative energy. They drive their cars too loud. They have wild parties, and it makes her uncomfortable. And my friend perhaps is into crystals and believes they have healing powers and properties, like I myself do. But they have only a few dollars to get just one. And there's many different kinds of crystals that could help with the situation. So, they had a chart sitting on their wall of different crystals. What this person could do is take a pendulum and start in the center, and you can even print out things off your computer. Perhaps you've found a picture like this online. Now, we'll hold it in the middle of the picture of the different crystals, and as you can see, immediately my pendulum began moving. And in the first place it strongly moved to and stayed at was this picture right here. Now, the picture right here says green jasper on this chart I have. So perhaps my friend would purchase a green jasper stone, and that would help her focus her energies to managing her stress, and that will help her feel better in a situation with her annoying neighbors. You see, the real thing about something like a pendulum is a lot of times when we worry, we're immobilized. When we run out of ideas, we become stressed out, and when we worry, nothing ever gets solved. This simply helps point us in a different direction and turn our immobility into action, into movement, so things can get done. Sometimes they may have greater benefits, and sometimes it may not work well and we'll have to try something else. However, we've done something, and usually I found in my personal experience, doing something in a situation is always better than worrying. And perhaps when I find something later to tell us more about this valuable, interesting tool, the pendulum, I'll make another video about it. For now, many blessings to you, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.